Hello, Shalom. Welcome to day 20 of the Daily Bread. We'll be in Genesis chapter 27. We'll be starting First Judges chapters 1 and 2. We'll be reading Matthew 20 and Proverbs 20. Okay. Once again, we'll be in Scripture, 2009 version. Genesis 27 is on page 27. And it came to be when Isaac was old and his eyes were too dim to see, that he called Esau, his elder son, and said to him, "My son." And he answered, "Here I am." And he said, "See, now I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, please take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt wild game for me. And make me a tasty dish, such as I love, and bring it to me to eat, in order that my being does bless you before I die." And Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt wild game and to bring it. And Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son, and saying, "See, I heard your father speak to Esau your brother, saying, Bring me wild game and make me a tasty dish, and I bless you in the presence of Yahweh before my death. And now, my son, listen to my voice according to what I command you. Please go to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, and I make a tasty dish for them for your father, such as he loves. And you shall take it to your father, and he shall eat it, so that he might bless you before his death." And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, "See, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. What if my father touches me? Then I shall be a deceiver in his eyes, and I shall bring a curse on myself and not a blessing." But his mother said to him, "Let the curse be upon me, my son. Only obey my voice and go. Get them for me." And he went out and fetched them and brought them to his mother. And his mother made a tasty dish such as his father loved. And Rebekah took the best garments of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And for the skins of the young man, and put the skins of the young goats on his hands, and on the smooth part of his neck. When she saw the tasty dish, then she gave the tasty dish and bread that she had prepared into her son Jacob. And he went to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am. Who are you, my son?" And Jacob said to him, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you said to please me. I have done as you said to me. Please rise, sit, and eat of my wild game, so that you might bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How is it that you found it so quickly, my son?" And he said, "Because Yahweh, your Elohim, brought it to me." And Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come near, so I might feel you, my son, whether you are truly my son Esau or not." And Jacob went to Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, "The voice is of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." And he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like his brother's Esau, and he blessed him. And he said, "Are you truly my son Esau?" And he said, "I am." And he said, Bring it near to me, and let me eat of my son's wild game, so that my being might bless you." So he brought it near to him, and he ate. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said to him, "Please come near and kiss me, my son." And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his garments, and blessed him, and said, "See, the smell of my son is like the smell of the field which Yahweh has blessed. And Elohim give you of the dew of the heavens, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers, and let your mother's son bow down to you. Cursed be those cursing you, and blessed be those blessing you. It came to be as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had hardly left the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother had came in from hunting. And he too made a tasty dish, and brought it to his father, and said to his father, Let my father rise and eat of his son's wild game, so that your being might bless me. And his father Isaac said to him, Who are you? And he said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, Who was it then who hunted wild game and brought it to me? And I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him. See, yes, he is blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, Bless me too, O my father. And he said, Your brother came with deceit and took your blessing. And Esau said, Was his name then called Jacob? For he has caught me by the heel these 2 times. He took my birthright, see, and now he has taken my blessing. And he said, have you not reserved a blessing for me? But Isaac answered and said to him, See, I have made him your master, and all his brothers I have given to him as servants. And I have sustained him with grain and wine. And what then shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to his father, Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, See, your dwelling is of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heavens above. And by your sword you are to live, and serve your brother. And it shall be, when you grow restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. And Esau hated Jacob, because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father draw near. Then I am going to kill my brother Jacob. And the words of Esau, her older son, had reported to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, See, your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you to kill you. And now, my son, listen to my voice. Rise, flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days until your brother's wrath turns away, until your brother's displeasure turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. And I shall send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved from you both in one day? Meaning Isaac and Jacob. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am disgusted with my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife from the daughters of Heth, like these who are the daughters of the land, what is my life to me? Okay. End of Genesis. Well, end of Genesis chapter 27. Okay, we'll be reading 1 Judges chapter 1. Right. And it came to be after the death of Joshua that the children of Israel asked Yahweh, saying, Who of us should go up first among the Canaanites to fight against them? And Yahweh said, Judea does go up. See, I have given the land into his hand. And Judah said to Shem, his brother, Come up with me into my allotment, and let us fight against the Canaanites. And I myself shall also go with you into your allotment. So Shimon went with him, and Judah went up, and Yahweh gave the Canaanites the Perizzites into their hand, and they struck 10,000 men at Beez. They also found Adoni-Bezek in Bez, and fought against him, and struck the Canaanites and Perizzites. But Adoni-Bezek fled, and they pursued him, and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and big toes. And Adoni-Bezek said, 20 sovereigns with their thumbs and big toes cut off, used to gather food under my table. As I have done, so Elohim has repaid me. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and he died there. And the children of Judah fought against Jerusalem and captured it, and struck it with the edge of the sword, and set the city on fire. And afterwards the children of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites who dwelt in the mountains, in the south, and in the low country. And Judah went out against the Canaanites who dwelt in Hebron. Now the name of Hebron was formerly Kiriath Arba, and they struck Shahish and Amin and Telabah. And there they went against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir was formerly Kiriath. And Caleb said, He who smites Kiriath and shall capture it to him, I shall give my daughter as wife. And Othniel, son of Kizan, Caleb's younger brother, captured it, and he gave him his daughter as wife. And it came to be, when she came in, that she urged him to ask her father. She urged him, Othniel asked her father, Caleb, for a field. And when she got off from her donkey, Caleb said to her, What is the matter? And she said to him, Give me a blessing. Since you have given me land in the south, give me also springs of water. So Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. And the children of Kenath, father-in-law of Moshe, went up to the city of the palms of the children of Judah, into the wilderness of Judah, which is in the Negrim of Abram. And they went and dwelt among the people. And Judah went with Simon, his brother. And they struck the Canaanites who inhabited Sephath, and put it under the ban. And so the name of the city was called Horam. And Judah and Yehuda captured Azar and its border, and Chilon and its border, and Ekron and its border. And Yahweh was with Judah, Yehuda, so they took possession of the mountains. But they were unable to drive out the inhabitants of the plain, because they had chariots of iron. And they gave Hebron to Caleb, as Moshe had said, and he drove out from there the 3 sons of Anak. However, the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Uzibites who inhabited Jerusalem. So the Uzibites have dwelt with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem to this day. And the house of Joseph also went up against Bethel, and Yahweh was with them. And the house of Joseph sent men to spy on Bethel. Now the name of the city was formerly Luz. And the watchmen saw a man coming out of the city, and they said to him, Please show us the entrance to the city. We shall show you loving commitment. So he showed them the entrance to the city, and they struck the city with the edge of the sword. But the man and all his clan they let go. And the man went to the land of the Hittites, and built a city, and called it Luz, which is the name to this day. And Manish did not dispose Beth Shean and its villages, nor Tanakh and its villages, nor the inhabitants of Dahor and its villages, nor the inhabitants of Yiblim and its villages, nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and its villages, for the Canaanites desired to dwell in that land. And it came to be when Israel was strong that they put the Canaanites into compulsory labor, but did not completely drive them out. Neither did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites who dwelt in Gezer. So the Canaanites dwelt in their midst in Gezer. Neither did Zebulun drive out the inhabitants of Ketturim, or the inhabitants of Naphtali, so the Canaanites dwelt in their midst, and became compulsory labor. Neither did Asher drive out the inhabitants of Achor, nor the inhabitants of Zion, nor Aklam, nor of Akzib, nor of Helbah, nor of Aphlin, nor of Rehob. So the Asherites dwelt in the midst of the Canaanites and the inhabitants of the land, because they did not drive them out. And neither did Naphtali drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh, nor the inhabitants of Beth Anel, but they dwelt among the Canaanites and the inhabitants of the land. And the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh and Beth Anath became compulsory labor for them. And the Amorites pressed the children of Dan into the mountains, for they would not allow them to come down into the valley. And the Amorites desired to dwell in the Mount Heres of Akron and Sheblim. But when the hand of the house of Joseph became stronger, they became compulsory labor. And the border of the Amorites was from the ascent of Abrinith, from Silla and upward. Chapter 2, Judges, 1 Judges. And the messenger, capital M, of Yahweh came up from Gilgad to Bochim, and said, I led you up from Mizraim, and brought you to the land of which I swore to your fathers. And I said, I do not break my covenant with you. As for you, do not make a covenant with the inhabitants of this land. Break down their slaughter places. But you have not obeyed my voice. What is this you have done? Therefore I also said, I am not driving them out before you, and they shall be adversaries for you, and their mighty ones shall be a snare to you. And it came to be when the messenger of Yahweh spoke these words to all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim, and slaughtered there to Yahweh. Then Joshua dismissed the people, and the children of Israel went to his own inheritance to possess the land. And the people served Yahweh all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders who outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of Yahweh, which he had done for Israel. And Joshua son of Nun, the servant of Yahweh, died 110 years old. And they buried him within the border of his inheritance in Timrath, in the mountains of Ephraim, on the north side of Mount Gahash. And all the generations were likewise gathered to their fathers, and another generation arose after them, who did not know Yahweh, nor the work of which he had done for Israel. Then the children of Israel did evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and served the Baals, and forsake Yahweh, Elohim of their fathers, who had brought them out of the land of Mizraim, and went after other mighty ones, of the mighty ones of the people who were around them. And they bowed down to them and provoked Yahweh. So they forsook Yahweh and served Baal and the Ashtoreths. And the displeasure of Yahweh burned against Israel. Therefore he gave them into the hands of the plunderers who despoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies all around. and they were unable to stand before their enemies any longer. Wherever they went out, the hand of Yahweh was against them for evil, as Yahweh had spoken, and as Yahweh had sworn to them, and they were distressed greatly. Remember, he is a tad jealous, just saying. Then Yahweh raised up rulers who saved them from the hand, but those who plundered him. However, they did not listen to their rulers either, but went whoring after other mighty ones and bowed down to them. They soon turned aside from the way in which their fathers walked and in obeying the commands of Yahweh. They did not do so. And when Yahweh raised up rulers for them, Yahweh was with the ruler and saved them from the hand of their enemies. All the days of the rulers for Yahweh had compassion on their groaning because of those who oppressed them and crushed them. And it came to be, when the ruler was dead, that they would turn back and do more corruptly than their fathers, to go after other mighty ones, to serve them and bow down to them. They did not refrain from the practices and from their stubborn way. And the displeasure of Yahweh burned against Israel. He said, because this nation has transgressed my covenant that I commanded their fathers and has not obeyed my voice, I shall no longer drive out before them any of the nations which Joshua left when he died, in order to try Israel by them, whether they would guard the way of Yahweh to walk in them as their fathers guarded them or not. So Yahweh left those nations without driving them out at once, and did not give them into the hand of Joshua. End of chapter 2 of Judges. We'll be reading Proverbs 20, page 747. Wine is a scoffer, and a strong drink a brawler. Whoever is led astray by it is not wise. The dread of a sovereign is like a roaring of a lion. Whoever provokes him sins against his own life. For a man to cease from strife is esteemed, but every fool bursts out. The lazy one does not plow after the autumn. At harvest time he inquires, there is none. Counsel in the heart of a man is like deep water, but a man of understanding draws it up. Most men proclaim each his own loving commitment, but who finds a trustworthy man? The righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. A sovereign who sits on the throne of judgment is scattering all evil with his eyes. Who says, I have cleansed my heart, I am purged of my sin? Differing weights and differing measures, both of them are an abomination to Yahweh. Even a child is known by his deeds, whether his work is clear and right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, Yahweh has made them both. Do not love sleep, lest you become poor. Open your eyes, be satisfied with bread. Evil, evil, cries the buyer, but when he has gone his way, then he boasts. There is gold and multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious vessel. Take the garment of one who is a guarantor for a stranger, and hold it as a pledge when it is for foreigners. Bread gained by deceit might be sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth is filled with gravel. By counsel plans are established, and by wise guidance wage a battle. He who goes about as a slanderer reveals secrets. Therefore, do not associate with him who speaks smoothly with his lips. Whoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp is put out in deep darkness. An inheritance obtained with greed at the beginning is not blessed in the end. Do not say, I repay evil. Wait for Yahweh, he saves you. Differing weights are an abomination to Yahweh, and a false scale is not good. The steps of a man are from Yahweh. The man knows what a man does What does a man know about his own way? It is a snare for a man to say rashly, "It is set apart," and only later to reconsider his vows. A wise sovereign widows out the wrong and turns the wheel over them. The spirit of man is a lamp of Yahweh, searching all his inmost parts. Loving commitment and truth watch over the sovereign, and he shall support his throne by loving commitment. The comeliness of young men is their strength, and the splendor of old men is their gray hair. The blows that wound cleanse away evil and strokes the the inner parts of the heart. Matthew 20. It's on page 942. For the reign of the heavens is like a man, a householder who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the workers for a denarius a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about a third hour and saw others standing idle at the marketplace. And he said to them, "You too, go into the vineyard, and whatever is right I shall give you." And they went. Having gone out again about the 6th and 9th hour, he did likewise. And about the 11th hour, having gone out, he found others standing idle, and said to them, "Why do you stand here all idle all day?" And they said to him, "Because no one hired us." He said to them, "You do good. You too go into the vineyard, and whatever is right you shall receive." And when evening came, the master of the vineyard said to his manager, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last to the first." And when those came who had hired about the 11th hour, they each received a denarius. And when the first came, they thought they would receive more, but they too received a silver piece. And when they received it, they grumbled against the householder, saying, "These last have worked only 1 hour, and you made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the heat all day." But he answering said to them, "Friend, I do you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take yours and go. But I wish to give to this last man as also to you. It is not right for me to do what I wish with my own. Is it not right for me to do with what I wish with my own? Or is your eye evil because I am good?" Thus the last shall be first, and the first last. For many are called, but few are chosen. And Yeshua, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 taught ones aside on the way and said to them, "See, we are going to Jerusalem, and the Son of Adam shall be delivered up to the chief priests and to the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and deliver him to the nations, to mock and flog and to impale. And the third day he shall be raised." Then the mother of the sons of Zebediah came to him with their sons, bowing down and making him a request of him. He said to her, "What do you wish?" She said to him, "Command that these 2 sons of mine might sit, one on your right hand and the other on the left, in your reign." But Yeshua answering said, "You do not know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I am about to drink, and be immersed with the immersion that I am immersed with?" They said to him, "We are able." And he said to them, "You shall indeed drink my cup, and you shall be immersed with the immersion that I am immersed with. but to sit on my right hand and on my left hand. It is not mine to give, but it is for those of whom it has been prepared by my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were displeased with the brothers. But Yeshua called them near and said, You know that the rulers of the nations are masters over them, and those who are of great exercise authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. But whoever wishes to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever wishes to be the first among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Adam did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. And as they were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him, and see 2 blind men sitting by the way, having heard that Yeshua was passing by, cried out, saying, Have compassion on us, O Master, Son of David. And the crowd rebuked them, that they should be silent. But they cried out all more, saying, Have compassion on us, O Master of David. And Yeshua stopped and called them and said, What do you wish me to do for you? They said to him, Master, that our eyes be opened. And having been moved with compassion, Yeshua touched their eyes. And immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible, and talk to the Father.